Hello everyone, I'm Taylor and welcome to Practical Vibes. Today we are going to be taking a CSV file coming out of a restaurant point of sale system and turning it into a printable, ready to go, formatted menu PDF. So with that, let's go ahead and jump right in. First things first, we're going to jump over to Cursor. I've got Cursor open. I have a folder that I've already created called Menu Formatter to have everything live right there. And I've got the terminal open down here. And let's go ahead and get started with a new chat. We're in agent mode and the model is just set to auto. We don't have to set anything there. And we're just going to describe what it is we're looking for. I set up the menu for my restaurant in my POS system, and I can download it as a CSV file. I then need to turn that into a PDF, a printable PDF file that I can print for the restaurant. Please build a app that I can use on my computer to convert the CSV file into a nicely formatted PDF. The PDF should only be one page and have two columns. An example of the CSV file is, you know what, and then I need to move that file. So I have one right here. Let's take a look at it. I can show you in text edit. So this is what it looks like, the file that we're going to convert coming out of the point of sale system. I just created this, but it doesn't matter. The AI will adjust to anything you provide it. It can use a lot of context there, and if it doesn't do it right the first time, you can just keep editing. So this is an example of what we're going to use. It's just a CSV file that looks like this. And I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy it. Oh, I'm going to copy the file. I'm going to come in here to Cursor over here into the this pane. I'm going to paste that file in. So now it has it as context. Cursor can easily see it now. And then I can specifically call it out in my agent chat by just typing in the @ symbol, files and folders, brewpub menu.rpf. Also going to write, please use UV to manage the virtual environment for this project. To manage the Python virtual environment for this project. Okay. So the bit about using UV to manage the Python virtual environment for this project is something that is a useful thing to learn about. Again, there are these high-level topics that typically are only taught in programming classes and software development classes and courses like that. And there are these concepts that now I don't think are, really, it might be overkill to take the entire class, but there's some concepts that are extremely useful when it comes to vibe coding, to understand the frameworks and some things that are happening behind the scenes. And that is definitely one of them, is understanding what a virtual environment is, why does Python need virtual environments, and things like that. So there will be further videos that I will link to that will be covering those topics. So that way you can understand what you need to know without having to go all the way into a programming course. Okay, so we're going to see what's going on here. It looks like it's waiting for my approval. It's generated some requirements. We're using some external libraries, Pandas and Report Lab, which I'm familiar with. And then it's even making us a nice README, so we'll understand exactly what we need to do. And then here it's presenting me now with a command line script to run, or a command to run. So I'm going to go ahead and hit run. I'm looking at it. Everything looks good. I'm going to hit run. All right. creating the virtual environment, installing all the dependencies, and now it says your app is ready. Here's what was set up. A Python script that reads your menu CSV, generates one page, two column PDF, requirements.txt, And README with setup and usage instructions. Okay. Tell you what though, it built it as a command line utility. So this is something that essentially, if you've ever seen somebody, that's just typing away at a screen, the kind of the typical hacker image, where they're just typing away and it's the old style font and everything. This tool, what it built was for us to be able to do what we want to do that way. But what we want is a nice little, what's called a GUI, graphical user interface. We want something that's a more traditional app that is really intuitive and easy for us to use, so we don't have to worry about learning exactly how to work with the command line just yet. Okay, so with that, let's just go ahead and tell it that. I want a GUI for this app, not a command line utility. All right. And so now it's going to take a look back at everything. Something to realize is that the agent can see everything that's over here. So anything that's in this folder, the agent has access to, and it can decide what to look at and read as needed. It can't go outside of this right now. So anything that's outside of here, it can't see and it won't edit. So it looks like it is doing a search to see what there is and bringing in maybe a new library, tkinter, which is a really popular and well-known Python library for building GUIs. And it's like it's updating the menu PDF generator.py file. And you can click this little down arrow if you want to see everything that it is writing. You can see it here in the actual chat transcript. Or if you want, you can actually go over here and open it up. This green is showing you what it's changing, what has recently changed, and that hasn't been actually accepted yet. So you can see everything here, and the red shows what it deleted in the last pass. All right, and let's see if we come over here. All right, the app now has a graphical user interface using tkinter. You can click to select your menu CSV, choose where to save the PDF, and click Generate PDF and get a success or error message. Great. To use the GUI, activate your environment. So I'm going to copy paste. We're going to go for it. I want to use UV, but I'm just going to follow its directions here. So there we go. We activated the virtual environment. We're going to hit copy here, paste, Python menu PDF generator.py. And we should get a little pop-up of a application. Hey, there it is. Menu PDF generator. Look at that. We have a nice little window here. Pretty, it's basic, but it works. So we're going to hit browse. We're going to select our menu, Brewpub menu, open, output PDF file. Yeah, we'll call it menu PDF. We'll call it menu printable.pdf. Save as. Looks like that's maybe a little error we could ask it to fix. So we'll just call it printable menu on the desktop. Hit save. It looks like they didn't give us a button to actually run it, which is not going to work. So we'll just go right back to the chat and say, I don't see a button or other way to actually run the program in the GUI. It says it's included. Aha, look at that. We just needed to expand the window a little bit, and there's our Generate PDF button. Okay, so let's hit Generate PDF. Failed to generate PDF. Item name. What does that mean? What we'll do, Generate PDF. Let's copy that. And we just have to say error, and then paste. These agents are really smart. You don't have to be too descriptive, especially when you get into this debugging and troubleshooting. You can just say, I often just say error, and then I just paste the text of whatever I get from the error message. Error occurred because the code was not robustly extracting the CSV data from the RTF file, which led to missing or misnamed columns like item name. What was fixed? The code now uses a regular expression to extract only the lines that look like CSV from the RTF file, checks the required columns are present. You know what I'm realizing early on? I didn't read the full response, and it actually asked me if I wanted to be able to handle RTF files as well as .txt files, and I just skipped right past it. So it was trying to help me, and I was just moving too fast. And if I would have told it, hey, this is actually RTF files, not just CSV files, then it probably would have avoided that. All right, so then we're going to, it looks like it already made some changes. We're going to save and run the updated script as before. So let's go ahead and we're going to come back here. We're going to close this out. So I'm just going to hit Python, quit Python, come back in here, and then we're just going to try the same thing again, Python. So now that it's updated, all right, we're going to browse to select our menu, open, output file, just call it menu PDF. Drag that down. That's something we might want to fix later. Generate PDF. PDF saved in menu.pdf. On the desktop, I'm going to assume. So let's go back here. Oh no, I don't know where it went. So we'll hit save as, and we'll call it. There we go. Save. And now let's generate PDF. Great. Now it's there. Menu.pdf. Let's open it. And look at that. We have our menu. Appetizers, mains, desserts, and drinks. Okay. And we've got the name of the items and the descriptions and the prices and the slightly grayed out text. That looks really good. So obviously a long ways to go in terms of, there's a lot of opportunity to improve this. We could add a logo. We could improve the formatting and tell it, we want to group everything, maybe all the desserts down at the bottom. There's a lot of different things you could do. And all you have to do is just keep chatting. Just keep talking to it. The AI does not get offended. The more times you tell it, no, you did it wrong, try again. No, you did it wrong, try again. It doesn't matter. Something that's in software development, a lot of people get nervous about that. And it's actually, vibe coding is really interesting because a lot of seasoned product managers and software developers have to really break out of some deeply, deeply ingrained cultural practices. If you asked a developer, hey, can you go build this for me? And they took a week, right? And they came back and they built something for you. And you immediately realized, oh no, this is all wrong. This is not at all what I wanted. You might just bite your tongue and figure out a different pathway to get whatever done you need to get done because you thought, oh man, I asked this person to do a week and I gave them the wrong prompt, right? I told them to do it the wrong way. They did it exactly how I said, but it's all wrong. So instead of telling them, oh no, you need to go redo it, you might just bite your tongue. But the AI, it does, it can do a week's worth of work in 5 minutes. And if it's wrong, you just tell it, no, that's wrong, try again. And 5 minutes later, you have an entirely new version. And oftentimes that's not 5 minutes. Oftentimes it's 10 seconds, super fast, and you can just keep trying. So there's a lot of people that get discouraged when it doesn't quite work exactly the first time, right? They just put in one prompt, comes back, maybe it doesn't work, and they think, well, this isn't going to work. This isn't for me. And it really pays off to be a little bit persistent when you're doing vibe coding. You really have to be okay with iterating a little bit. And that iteration process not only helps the AI generate what you're looking for, but it also helps you clarify your thinking. There have been countless times where I put in a prompt and then it's come back immediately and said, did you think about this? Did you think about this? And those are valid concerns. And those are things I should have thought about and that I do need to think about if I'm going to make something that actually works the way I want it to. So with that, we're going to conclude our tutorial today, but you can see just how quick and easy it is to use a tool like Cursor and vibe coding in order to be able to build a very productive and useful tool for your day-to-day life and whatever it is you do. So thanks for joining us, and I'll see you in the next video.